The team spent the next few weeks living and training with the sorcerer and his inner circle. It was a constant game of cat and mouse, as they carefully gathered intel while pretending to be loyal followers. They witnessed the sorcerer's twisted rituals and sacrifices, and it was a constant struggle to maintain their cover without getting sucked into the darkness themselves. The team members grew increasingly uneasy and began to question whether they were in over their heads. One night, the sorcerer summoned them to a secret meeting deep within the lair. They gathered in a dimly lit chamber, where the sorcerer revealed his ultimate plan: to summon a powerful demon and unleash it upon the world. The team members were horrified. They had known that the sorcerer was evil, but they never could have imagined the scale of his madness. They exchanged nervous glances, unsure of what to do next. But then, one of the team members spoke up. She suggested that they fake their loyalty to the sorcerer, gain access to his most powerful spells and relics, and then use them to defeat him and stop the demon. The rest of the team agreed, and they set their plan into motion. They trained harder than ever before, practicing complex spells and perfecting their dark magic skills. They also made secret plans to gather the necessary components to perform a counter spell, and to escape the sorcerer's lair as quickly and safely as possible. As the day of the demon's summoning approached, tensions were high. The team members were filled with both fear and determination, unsure of whether their plan would work. But when the day finally arrived, they put their plan into action. They faked their loyalty to the sorcerer, gained access to his most powerful spells and relics, and then used them to perform the counter spell. The sorcerer was caught off guard, and the demon was banished back to the underworld. The team members made their escape, narrowly avoiding the sorcerer's wrath as they fled the lair. As they emerged back into the daylight, they breathed a sigh of relief. They had stopped the sorcerer's plan, but they knew that their fight against darkness was far from over. They vowed to continue their work, to protect the world from evil and to never stop fighting for what was right. The team parted ways, each going off on their own missions to continue their fight against evil. One member in particular, a skilled hunter named Aiden, decided to venture into a nearby town that had been plagued by reports of strange occurrences. As he walked down the empty streets, Aiden couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The air was thick with an eerie silence, and the buildings seemed to loom ominously around him. As he turned a corner, Aiden suddenly found himself face to face with a group of shadowy figures. They were shrouded in black cloaks, their faces hidden behind masks, and they seemed to be moving with a sinister purpose. Aiden's hand instinctively went to his sword, but before he could draw it, the figures spoke. "We know who you are, Hunter," one of them said, their voice distorted by the mask. "And we know what you're trying to do. We won't let you interfere with our plans." Aiden knew that he was in danger. These figures were clearly part of some dark cult, and they would stop at nothing to achieve their goals. He drew his sword and prepared for a fight. The figures advanced, their movements unnaturally fluid and precise. Aiden could feel the weight of their dark magic pressing against him. But he was determined to stop them. He fought with all his skill and strength, his sword flashing in the darkness as he struck out against his enemies. The battle was intense and grueling, but Aiden refused to back down. With a final swing of his sword, he struck the last of the cultists down. Breathless and weary, Aiden stood among the fallen figures, his mind racing with questions. Who were these cultists, and what was their goal? He knew that he had to find out more, but he also knew that he couldn't do it alone. Aiden decided to reach out to his old team, the one that had helped him defeat the sorcerer. He contacted each member individually, telling them about the encounter and urging them to join him in investigating the cult. One by one, the team members agreed to meet in the town. They gathered in a secluded location, away from prying eyes, and shared what they knew. As they pieced together the puzzle, a terrifying picture began to emerge. The cult was not just a small, isolated group. They were part of a much larger network of dark magic users, all working together to unleash a powerful evil upon the world. The team knew that they had to act fast to stop the cultists before they could accomplish their goal. They split up into pairs, each pair assigned to investigate a different part of the network. Days turned into weeks as they gathered information, tracked down leads, and worked tirelessly to uncover the secrets of the cult. They faced countless dangers along the way, from fierce battles with cult members to close calls with powerful spells. Despite the challenges, the team persevered. They were driven by their determination to stop the cult and prevent the evil they sought to unleash. Finally, after weeks of investigating, they uncovered a crucial piece of information. The cult was planning to perform a massive ritual in a remote location, one that would open a portal to the underworld and unleash a horde of demons upon the world. The team knew that this was their chance to stop the cult once and for all. They gathered their resources and prepared to launch an all-out assault on the cult's stronghold. As they arrived at the location, they could feel the dark magic pulsing through the air. They knew that the battle ahead would be their toughest yet. With a roar, they charged into the fray, their weapons flashing in the darkness as they fought against the cult's powerful magic. It was a grueling battle, but the team was well prepared and fought with all their might. Finally, they emerged victorious. The cult was defeated, and their plan to unleash the demons was thwarted. The team stood together, breathing heavily and covered in sweat and grime. They looked at each other with a mix of relief and pride, knowing that their hard work and sacrifice had paid off. As they made their way back to civilization, they knew that their fight against darkness was far from over. But they also knew that they were stronger together, and that they would continue to stand against evil. Suddenly, the ground beneath them began to tremble and shake. The sky turned dark and the air grew thick with an oppressive energy. Before they knew it, they were sucked into a swirling vortex, hurtling towards a dark and terrifying dimension. As they landed, disoriented and frightened, the team realized that they were now in the underworld. The sky was a sickly shade of red, and the ground was made up of jagged rocks and twisted roots. Strange creatures slithered and crawled all around them, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. The team knew that they were in deep trouble. They had heard stories about the underworld, a place where the most powerful and evil creatures dwelled. They had never imagined that they would end up here. But they couldn't give up now. They were determined to find a way out, to return to the surface and continue their fight against the cult. They searched for clues, looking for anything that could help them escape. As they moved through the twisted landscape, they encountered all manner of terrifying creatures. Some were large and imposing, with razor-sharp claws and teeth. Others were small and cunning, using trickery and deception to lure their prey. Despite the danger, the team pressed on. They fought with all their strength, using their skills and magic to battle the creatures that stood in their way. But the underworld was a labyrinthine and treacherous place, full of traps and illusions. They soon realized that they were hopelessly lost, with no idea how to find their way out. The team's determination began to waver. They were tired and hungry, and the constant fear was taking its toll. But they knew that they had to keep going. They had to find a way out, no matter what it took.